everybody, this is Shraddha and Sandeep from eConstruct. In this video, we are going to discuss about building information modeling, why BIM and who should learn BIM and what are the advantages of BIM. Let's start the conversation with Mr. Sandeep, who is going to tell you more about BIM and advantages of BIM. So, hello.
Hello.
So we would like to know that nowadays we are hearing a lot about BIM. So what exactly is BIM and who should consider learning this technology and what would be the advantages of learning BIM?
Yeah, it's a very good question. It's regarding the BIM. BIM is building information modeling, building information management also. It is a database model making. Database model making means what? You are actually going to create certain mathematical model in which a complete database will be there. So architectural, all the details will be there, structural, all the details will be there, MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, all the details will be there. Along with that, the how to do the project planning, all the related relevant data will be there. So it's a basically database building. Nowadays, actually, anywhere you want to construct something, actually, you need to create one small prototype. You know, that kind of strategy was there. Ancient time, actually, they used to create small little things. Actually, they used to develop certain things in a small sheet of, papers and as a model. But nowadays, it's very important. Everything is digitalizing. So we are creating actually a database model in which all the things are encrypted. Okay, so that is nothing but the BIM. Now, why BIM? That's the next question that you have asked me. Why BIM? It's very important whenever it is in the digitalized world. You can change so many things, you can alter so many things, you can see the pros and cons of different options. Whereas, actually, if you want to create actually the model, you will not be able to do so many things. And also, the cost will be, going on the higher side. Maintenance will be difficult, preserving that kind of models will be difficult, all those things will be there. So instead of doing that, actually the people, it's very, very important trend nowadays that they convert that into the digitalized form. The scaling will be accurate. It is not a small scale model and a big scale model, it's precisely the same scaling. So there will not be any errors. You can predict certain problems which are related to the safety, which are related to the material, equipment and so many things. So those kind of problems also we will be able to address or anticipate a little earlier, that can be solved at the later stage. So that is why the BIM technology, and in the government of India, more than 50 crores rupees if the project is going, then it must that, you should be opting for the BIM technology. You take the current, many of the major projects, you take the example of all the metro, whether it is Delhi metro, you come to the Bangalore metro, Pune metro, Nagpur metro, all the metro projects are complied with the BIM technology. Various big gigantic projects, all those projects are to be added with the BIM technology. It's very, very, very important. Okay. That's why the new engineers, they should be learning this kind of new technology, so that they can get their footprints inside the main discipline.
Main industry, okay.
Yeah,
so my next question is, as you said that there are three platforms, one is Autodesk, Graphisoft and Google. So if these three platforms are there, as a fresher, suppose if I have to learn BIM, as a fresher, how do I start? Which one do I choose as a fresher?
Yeah, as a fresher, it becomes very confusing mind. Can I learn the Google SketchUp? Can I learn the ArchiCAD? Can I learn the Revit? So many people, they will try to, mold yourself into whatever they want to do.
Sometimes we don't understand what exactly to learn or what is the right kind of a package for me to learn.
Yeah. So in that case, you need to understand that in which area that you want to go for. Let's say, for example, if the engineering base is there, for example, so you should be learning the engineering tools. If you are an architect, actually, you should be working through the BIM technology, which is in the architectural line. Let's say, for example, ArchiCAD and all the software which are related to the architects. Basically, it is their USP actually is basically focused to the architects.
Okay.
So if you are on B Arch, actually, if you are learning the architectural subjects, and if you are very good into that and if you are having interest in that, you need to learn with the
So
that
if I'm a fresher, I'm a B-Arch person, I should be learning the architectural side of the BIM.
Correct.
And especially something example like ArchiCAD.
ArchiCAD,
And if I'm from engineering background,
yeah, if you are from the engineering background, then I would suggest that you are having the Revit platform that is more prominent.
so you mean Revit, architecture, structures and MEP. All three put together we should learn?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the answer. Now, Google platform, how it helps you actually, if you are there in the sketchy form, if it is not in the concretized manner, I mean, if you are not there into it, Google, as the name suggests, it is the SketchUp. Actually, the software name is SketchUp. So it is very good into sketching. Actually, it's very intuitive software actually, which generates certain things, schematic drawing, and so many things actually very early stage, so that you can get the feel of how it will look like and all actually. But you'll have certain problems when it goes to the MEP, other areas actually, to get out the quantities from the SketchUp and all. It becomes very cumbersome. So I would suggest that if you are from the engineering background, that you want to take up this particular tool, because in the later stage, the Google SketchUp file, you again need to transfer it to other disciplinary line, like let's say for the example ArchiCAD, or maybe in the Revit platform. Then you'll get the details.
Okay.
The quantity details, the BOQs and all actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like what are the different dimensions which are available in BIM?
Yeah, dimensions actually, it starts with the 2D. Okay.
2D
is like, the plans, elevation sections, that's a 2D environment.
So that's there in the AutoCAD also?
Yes, that is there in the AutoCAD. Basically, it's a CAD, I would say. AutoCAD is one software. There are various software. FlexiCAD is there, StuCAD is there, then ProgeCAD is there. Various different CAD software.
Yeah. FlexiCAD.
Yeah, so these are different software. Basically, it's a CAD, computer-aided drawings. Actually, that is the platform that you should be opting, because it's very, the snapping options, tools, and all are very intuitively given there. So it's very fast. It is easy to change. You can add so many things to show the client in the plan. Actually, it is understandable. People will understand so many things in a very short time period. Even like, you don't require to be very skilled person actually to learn those CAD softwares. So you start with the 2D. That is the first environment, wherein architecture plans, structural plans. It's not only 2D means architectural 2D. It's architectural 2D, structural 2D, then mechanical, electrical, and plumbing 2D. Okay, so all the engineering disciplinary line and the 2D is one platform. Then once the 2D is sanctioned by the client, actually, then now, yes, my plan is over, it is as per the Vastu, it is as per the compliances of the municipality, it is compliances of my requirement, then you go from 2D to 3D. Okay, so third dimension is basically the perspective view. Okay, how the building will look like, how the finishing items will be there, how there would be the texturing, the lighting and all actually, that kind of thing is 3D
okay.
Actually. So, you are imagining that, my building will be like this, but if I put the picture in front of you, it will be crystal clear, right and there, that's how it is. So 3D is majorly based for that. After you complete the 3D, actually, because between the 2D and 3D also, sometimes the changes will happen. Sometimes you'll see, no, this is looking monotonous, let's have a pergola here. Then again the 2D will change. Okay, let's have some arch here. So again the 2D will change. Okay, so 2D is the base actually on which the 3D dimension, the third dimension is based on actually.
Okay.
So after the 3D, once the 3D and 2D is completely finalized, okay, it's a coordination, it's interaction, it's very important. You takes a lot of time generally into 2D, because that's a base for all the further dimensions. It's very important. I've seen that so many people, they learn the CAD, but what we require in the industry about the CAD is totally different. Okay, what they learn is only the tool based, line enter, PL enter, hatch patterns, various layers, systems and all. Actually, it's not very important. Majorly, you should be focusing on the project. Let's solve this industrial building. Let's solve this commercial building. Let's solve this residential building. Complete building, not like only a part piece of that. Actually, in the college, we don't have that kind of liberty, time, and the syllabus is designed based on that. But majorly, from the industry, we require that basically. So once you go from 2D to 3D, now from the third dimension, you go to the fourth dimension. Fourth dimension
4D.
comes 4D. So 4D is what actually? The 4D is 4D and 5D. One is cost model and another one is a time model.
And what is 6D and 7D?
See, 6D is basically is about the sustainability. Okay, sustainability means that it is the energy model. How much amount of electricity is required in this building? How much amount of electricity, I mean light is required in this building? Light, there are two types of lights. One is the active light ventilation, another one is the passive light ventilation. What is active light ventilation? Like let's say for example, you put on the lights, actually physically electrical lights, that is active light. Passive lights means the natural light coming inside, that is a passive light ventilation. Air ventilation is also required. So all the air ventilation, light ventilation, circulation, all the energy models would be combined in the 6 dimension.
So you are basically trying to say that before finishing, before even starting the project in this 6D, the client will know exactly what is the light and the energy required in this. We'll be able to calculate.
Of course it is required. See, otherwise what will happen? It's very important question actually. See, whenever somebody is constructing now, there is no light here, there is no ventilation here, it's where the room is very congested. All these problems will come. It will affect you with your body. It will affect with your day-to-day life. Actually, it's very important. Vastu or Feng Shui and all the Chinese various different concepts that are being evolved into this. With the Pancha Mahabhuta actually should be blessing. It should give the blessing to the people who are living inside the system. Now, Pancha Mahabhuta is what actually one is the space. You should have that kind of space. If you go to the bathroom, the toilet is there, the commode is there, even the flush is there, and there is no space. It's of no use even if those are there with the highest quality. Okay, so the cost is not a problem. The space is the problem. Okay, so space is there everywhere actually. All the Pancha Mahabhuta actually, whether it is a space, whether it is a light, whether it is a
Energy,
the water, electricity,
water.
Everything actually, it has to be very, very properly given over there.
Right. So basically that is 6D.
That is a 6D.
And what is the 7D is there?
Now 7th D is one of the most important aspect when it comes to the Indian market actually. Specifically, I would encourage to the builders, developers, promoters, investors, that segment. They are completely ignoring this particular aspect, which is very dangerous. Whenever I want to put certain money in some particular thing, let's say I want to purchase a mobile, for example, I should get, the first of all the warranty. If something goes wrong tomorrow, what will be the case? Okay, the warranty, then performance. All the things are nowadays, it's very important. What is the performance of the mobile, for example? What is the performance of the laptop which I am purchasing? When I am putting like 1-2 lakh rupees actually, it should perform properly. It should give that robust look. It should give so many things. So like that, in the buildings also, it was not there. Actually, it was there just in a piece of paper where how much rupees per square foot. That's all. People used to bargain, negotiate, and all this. That era is not required. Why? Because everywhere you should know the performance. You should not get buried before buried.
So
means what? Means what? Let me finish this. Means what actually? During the event of earthquake actually, the entire building comes down. So many people are under the debris. Means what? You are getting buried before getting buried. Alright. So what is the resiliency performance of a building? Which we call it as the performance based design. So all these kind of concepts actually, so those are there as per the AC 41 certain American norms. Those are there in India also. It has to come. People used to understand because it's a life saving. You are going to put it actually in the project. So you should know that what you are buying, whether it is worth for it actually. So that is basically the 7th D model. We call it as RERA model also. We call it as long term sustainability model. Okay. We call it as maintenance model. What it does is it's not only the structural stability or structural reliability or durability. There are so many other constraint things are also there which are related to the maintenance. RERA gives 5 years compulsion to the developers and promoters. And if let's say for example if you are purchasing the flat, if I am a developer actually, so I have to give you 5 years warranty for whatever the apartment that you have purchased. Okay. If something goes wrong, leakages happen, so many issues has happened. Earthing is not proper. Certain things, the structural stability is not there in place. So in that case, I had to give you the service free of cost within the first 5 years. So that is the seventh dimension.
So basically, meaning to say, seventh dimension is something that is most important to the end user, because after the flat or anything is purchased, it is like a guarantee for the end user, and I think end user would be taking advantage of this model if taken good care.
Yeah, I mean, from the consumer's perspective, it's like a blessing, but from the developer's perspective, it's a big curse probably sometimes. But it's very important because so many builders, developers, the cheating has happened actually.
Yes.
They will take the money, they will pre-launch the project, but they will not complete the project. They will divert the money somewhere else actually. Then later on they will show the my company's bankruptcy and all these problems. We have seen that in the newspapers and in the channels, news channels and all. So in order to reduce that kind of malpractices, actually the government has come up with the RERA, RERA. Actually, it's a real estate regulatory authority. Actually.
Real estate regulatory authority.
Yeah,
okay.
RERA.
RERA.
Yeah, so it's an authority which controls all this. RERA actually you need to get the sanction. First is the application number, then there is a sanction number, the RERA sanctions. Whatever the money that you are putting, actually 70% only, 70% of whatever the funds are there actually in that particular escrow account or in that particular account, that you need to use it for the project. Only 30% you can move the funds from here to there. Okay. More than that you cannot do that. There are so many good features are there from the consumer's perspective.
Got
actually.
It. So my next question is, which are the different countries currently who are using BIM very extensively?
Yeah, so many countries actually.
Is it mandatory or somewhere or? It's
Yeah. If you take the Finland, if you go to the Europe, US, you take in India also, if you see extensively, the Mumbai municipality is extensively working on that. Within the next upcoming year, most probably, the MCGM is planning to have the sanctions, all the plans which was there in the CAD actually for the portal for getting the sanction and which will be part of the construction, that will not be through the CAD but that will be through the BIM technology. So a revolutionary change, the shift is happening from the 2-dimension to all the 6-7 dimensions.
So
actually.
We can say in 2-dimension, 2D, the softwares involved are like AutoCAD.
Yeah. Now this particular area, that whether you want to go for which are the softwares. Which softwares is tools. Okay. What do you need is the complete BIM system to work. Okay. Now let me tell you, it's a very important point. So many people, they say that I know Archicad, I know Revit, I know this, I know that. Actually, it's something like only the steering, only the clutch, the gearbox or a clutch or a brake or something. But you should know that how to drive a vehicle.
Exactly.
Okay. The coordination between the steering and between the gearbox. It's very important. And at what moment you should do that. Okay. So that's the reason actually we generally encourage the students to learn the entire ecosystem so that it will help you.
So that basically they will become a package.
Correct.
And deliver the project right from start to end.
Start to end.
And they will
otherwise, see, ultimately what do you want to become? See, let's say for example, if I want to learn the car, actually I'd not come here to see that, I'm not a kid here, do like this actually, correct? I know how to drive a car or something like that. I don't want to imaginary drive a car. I actually want to drive
a car, right?
So if I want to become a driver, I should know the rules and regulations of the traffic rules, which comes under the licensing, correct? I should know the rules and regulations of how the functions of this particular vehicle works, how much quantity of certain things I need to push so that it will work, the judgment. Okay, judgment is also very important. Otherwise, let's start with 5th gear. I'm the king of the driver. It won't work that way, right? So always remember this. Only knowing certain Small little softwares won't help you at all.
So-
if you lose your money, you'll lose your money, you'll lose your confidence, you'll not get anything.
So basically you are trying to say, if at all you want to become master in BIM, learning just the tool as a software, as a one software will not help anyone, whether it's a fresher or somebody who is
I
switching the
will
career.
not say it will not help at all, but I will say that
It will not make you a full package
full package.
for any employer.
It's something like yeah, exactly. See, let's say for example, I just know the steering. You know what makes me different. You know.
Yeah, right, got it.
Yeah, I cannot drive a vehicle. End of the day, I require assistance to put the brakes. Every
So-
time I cannot ask, shall I put the brakes? Shall I put the brakes?
Right.
Yeah. So every time I cannot ask the colleague that Archicad, what is this? ये कौन सा command है? ये कौन सा? I
How
can't
to
do
the
that.
integration between the different
Yeah, between the
dimensions.
different discipline and all. Actually, the next guy also, he is a senior, he will not help you. You will completely become handicapped. All these problems. Why you want to invite that? End of the day.
Right. So my next question is, under 2D it's AutoCAD, under 3D what are the softwares, like is it Revit?
Now, if you want to list me the software, actually, I'll just list it out through this, and the certain things would be there in the comments below. Let's say the 3D software, what are there? Revit is there, Revit Architecture, Revit Structure, Revit MEP. Then you are having Google SketchUp.
1 minute. 2D is AutoCAD.
2D is AutoCAD.
3D?
See, I'll tell you, interesting point in this is 3D is you can do the 3D in so many different software, even in the AutoCAD or even in ProCAD. Various different softwares are there. You can do that, but it's not. You can do the 3D in Maya. You can do the 3D in the 3ds Max. The name of the software only starts with 3ds. So many people are getting confused.
Exactly.
What kind of software I should learn? Okay. So please understand there is a sequence actually. So let's say if I want to learn the steering of, let's say, the Honda vehicle, I should not learn the clutch and the systems of the Volvo vehicle. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Right.
So Volvo is something else that bus is having for a different reason. The steering is having for different this particular steering is of different vehicle. So you need to take that entire platform. Let me give you the example. Let's say, for example, if you want to learn the computer system actually. So Linux, Unix or something, it's a platform. You must learn that entire platform. You should not learn .NET, which is basically from the Microsoft. Then Unix is from Linux. And your career will become like a, very haphazard. Nobody will like to give you the appointment actually. And end of the day, you will not find anything actually.
Got it. So what are the softwares? Like in 2D we have AutoCAD, 3D we have Revit Architecture.
Yeah, now 3D, when it comes to the 3D, there are bundle of, you just name the software, all the 3Ds are there. Because of the competition and all.
Now, can you just name few for us so that we get an idea for the viewers to get the idea?
Okay. So in the 3D, actually, you'll get the Revit Architecture.
Revit
you can do the Revit Structure, which is basically for the structural engineers. Revit MEP, which is also the 3D, which is majorly for the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineers. Another thing is Google SketchUp is another software. Then you are having the Tekla is another software. Then this Archicad is another software.
So Archicad doesn't come in 2D?
No, Archicad, see, whenever there is a Revit and Archicad actually, whenever you are creating any 3D, automatically the 2D will be drawn in those softwares.
Okay.
Yeah. But generally, if you take the starting point, you don't get along with directly into the 3D software.
Got it.
Because changes or the certain maneuvering functions or the snapping functions are very well designed in the 2D environment.
Okay. And what comes in 4D? Which software?
Yeah, 4D, 5D, which is the cost model and the time model actually. So let's say we start with the time model, which is
So
generally
4D is time model.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 4D is time model. Time is cost.
Yeah.
Okay. If the time, see, it is always a U curve actually. Construction process is always a U curve. If you want to construct the house within just few weeks, for example, the cost of construction also will jump up very high. And if you want to construct the house for, let's say, 10 years, that also will increase a lot of cost because of the overheads. So it is always the U curve. You need to understand the optimum level of efficiency lies with the optimum utilization of the time, energy, money, resources, everything.
Right.
So major purpose of the entire BIM ecosystem lies in that particular quadrant. That how we can save a lot of time, energy, money, everything in that quadrant. Biggest developers, very big developers are there actually, I've seen in the market actually. They have gone completely on toss. Yeah, they are behind the bars because of this blunderous mistakes.
Yes.
Okay, in order to avoid such kind of mistakes, they really required a certain. They really required so many of certain guidance. Otherwise, you know, I've done 10 buildings. That doesn't mean that you are the smart developer. You require all the type of guidance at all the levels actually. And the guidance actually, I'll tell you very honestly, there are so many developers actually. One of the developers in Pune, I'll not take the name actually. But you know, he has designed and constructed so many buildings fabulously. In one building, he has got a problem, big problem, not a small one. You know, he has taken a lot of risk, too much of risk actually, which he can't control. End of the day, what has happened? He is behind the bars. So I would like to tell you that before taking certain risks and the steps, actually, you should do the SWOT analysis. Okay, in the BIM technology, it helps you to understand where is the root problem and how you can save your builder, developer through that. It's very important.
So what are the softwares in 4D?
Now, when it comes to the 4D, there is a software, very beautiful software, which is called Navisworks. Okay, Navisworks is, you know, it plans so many things. It works very, you know, intuitively with so many different softwares. Actually, it runs the animation that up to what level, what time model, up to what time, what construction level will be done. You know, and what would be the cost and all. Actually, it's like runtime analysis. At what time, what would be the cost, and how much the amount of resources that you require.
Oh, beautiful.
So it's a monitoring tool. Along with the Navisworks, there is also one of the software called Solibri.
Solibri.
Yeah. So that is also this is basically the European software that is also very popular in you know, London and in Europe specifically. In northern part of America also. So those softwares actually would help you to understand, to take the decisions of certain things actually. One more software which has come up into in the recent market, it is the software name is known as Synchro. Okay, so Synchro 4D is fabulous, fantastic.
Synchro
actually.
4D.
Synchro 4D. Actually, it gives you the timeline minute by minute, hour by hour, or maybe day by day, half day, or maybe 4 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. Like that, it gives you the chart.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you in this, actually, there are so many curves are there. One is S curve. S curve means how you planning the project. Okay, let's say this particular project of this building basically is going to complete within 1 year. That's what you are planning. But for that actually excavation, what is the time that you are allocating? For foundation, how much is the time that you are allocating? First floor, second floor, how much is the timeline that you are allocating? So that is the estimate that you are doing. At the same time, actually, you should know that during the actual execution, how it is going. Now I have allocated, let's say, 2 months for completing second slab, but the foundation is still there in the foundation. The site is still there in the foundation. So you are lagging in a lot of time actually, and that is going to build a lot of, you know, the premium to the cost. So you will come to know that alarm, the SWOT analysis alarm, in the very earlier stage, so that you can pick it up. Okay. Otherwise, you know, the project will not be viable.
Okay.
That's how it is.
So,
So the BIM technology helps to the so many people in that area.
and
Yeah.
okay. What software comes in 5D?
Yeah, so 4D is the time model, 5D is the cost model actually. So when it comes to the cost, basically, cost is, there is no particular software. I mean, you can use the 4D softwares to link it with the 5D. There are so many in-house spreadsheets that we have developed. Actually, as a company, we are having our own certain CRM systems where we can do the project planning, monitoring.
So as
also.
such, there is no software, but we can link the
Yeah,
Excel
we have to
sheets
link
and
the
few
certain
other
Excel sheets to get your desired output.
desired output. And what about the 7D?
Yeah, 6D and 7D. You can do it with the Archicad software, and also you can do with the Autodesk software. I mean, both the softwares are complied with the 6D and the 7D.
7D, okay.
Yeah.
So to sum up, the 2D is AutoCAD, 3D would be Revit Architecture, Revit Structures, Revit MEP, and
Google SketchUp is there, then Archicad is there.
Archicad, okay.
Yeah, then Tekla is there. Yeah.
Okay.
So which platform actually is it? Let's say, for example, if you go to the industrial buildings, Tekla is the platform. If you are dealing with the industrial projects, steel structures, composite structures, Tekla is the platform. If you are dealing with the architectural projects, aesthetic projects, interior projects and all, actually, Archicad is the platform. If you are dealing with the engineering line, where all the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, structural, all the things are coming actually, then you need to deal with the Revit platform actually. So different platform you need to choose it to get your desired output. So don't focus major on the tools. You need to focus on the platform. It's very important because Jana tha Delhi but ja rahe Chennai. That way will happen.
So my next question is, I'm sure many of our viewers want to know that as a fresher or even as a, I'm already working and I just want to upgrade my knowledge and get into a BIM, as a BIM modeler, full-fledged expert BIM modeler. Then if I'm starting my career, then how exactly can you describe the career graph of a BIM modeler and how exactly he will, move ahead in his career and what would be the general salary package?
Oh, that's an interesting question actually.
Yeah.
See, whenever it comes to the project, let me tell you, the project cost is above 50 crores. When you are applying for, such kind of technologies, where human interventions are going to create certain problems. So, whenever you are opting for any particular technology, it will help you to understand how to solve these 50 crore rupees projects. So always remember that money, actually your salary is immaterial. Wherever your salary is 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakhs, it is immaterial compared to what kind of outcome or output that you are going to give. That's very important. Okay. Now coming to the real values, actually, see the modelers, if you are saying that only I know 2D, I know there are so many people, they come with the resume with the AutoCAD, Revit and STAAD Pro. Basically these three softwares they will learn from some,
Google Baba?
Yeah, some Google for maybe through videos or, anything. Or maybe through certain training centers actually. So that will never help them. Why? Because let's say STAAD Pro is basically the structural engineering software. It won't help you to the design, it won't help you to the BIM technology. So when it comes to the BIM technology, you need to learn that, but those tools. Okay, so whatever the bundle of packages that you are choosing, actually, it is very, very sensitive and it's very important. Okay, so when it comes to the salary, if you are knowing only 1 or 2 tools, maybe you will not get a job at all. Okay, absolutely, you will be getting surprised. 10 times I am printing my CVs, and 100 copies I am printing it every day. I am putting it to so many companies. Through Naukri.com, Monster.com, this one, that one, Shine one, so many websites are there. Still the jobs are not there. You are feeling that, there are no jobs in the industry. In fact, to be very honest, India is the country which is completely underdeveloped. It's not overdeveloped. It is a developing country, the most populated country and very much underdeveloped country. Okay, so in India, if there is no scope, in the world only there is no scope. Let me tell you straight. Okay, I'll give you certain knowledge tips also. Let's say, for example, if you take the river problem. There was a rally for rivers actually. All the rivers, there is no water or there is too much amount of water. So, water resources, water engineering, which branch it is? Civil. Another resource or another area I'll tell you. Let's say our Delhi, capital city of India. Highest polluted, polluted city in the world. Second most polluted city is Bangalore. Air pollution, environmental engineering, which subject? Civil. You take the transportation, you go to all the state capitals and the metropolitan cities, all cities are facing traffic congestion problem. So transportation engineering, which subject? Civil. Yeah, you take more than half of the population in India is living either in slums or they are living in the rental apartment. So when it comes to the housing, which sector? Again civil. You take any of the major problems of the country which are related to the infrastructure development, whether it is roads, the dams, the bridges, ports, tunnels, various big gigantic problems are originally, they are getting originated basically because of the civil non-compliance. Okay, so civil is the mother of all the engineering, disciplinary areas. So if there is no scope in civil, there is no scope anywhere else. Okay, this is what I am saying. I am a civil engineer and I am proud of it, to be very honest. And I would like to tell you that crores of rupees of projects are there. The only thing is civil engineers should know how to tap that. Unfortunately, we lost our spark. And we are given the keys to the masons and so many underdeveloped people, and those people have become developers, builders and all actually, and because of the knowledge they are also not becoming a sustainable people in the industry. That's how the problem is getting multifold problems. The developer is not able to get the profit what he is trying to get it. The civil engineers are not getting jobs which he really deserve to get it. Multiple problems are getting percolated. Now, when it comes to the salary package of the right candidate who does the right, tools, learning and all. So, if you see the next aspect, actually, if a person knows, how to solve certain burning problems of a student. Okay. So, if you take the next step, actually, if a person knows that the certain lines of the software actually, so he would be able to solve the real problem of the developer or a builder or an investor. So in that case actually the salary package actually goes with so for freshers you may not get a job, okay, but for right candidate who is learning those kind of tools, the freshers minimum 15 to 20,000, that is 100% sure that he will get an opportunity, 15 to 20,000 rupees per month, 101%. Now, if he is knowing certain different, along with the softwares, if he knows certain skills actually, within a year or two, the 15 to 20,000 will become sometimes, 50,000 to 1 lakh. It will become like that. That kind of potential this line is having. Because civil engineering graph starts with like this, it starts with like this. On the x-axis, there is a time actually, and experience. And the y-axis, you will have the money, you will have the pride, you will have the power, you will have, whatever the sort of prosperity that you want to put it. Whenever actually, this is a struggle time, you need to reduce it. How you can reduce it? By knowing the certain right software, having the knowledge, having certain skills, having the right attitude, so many things are there actually which are related to HR also. So if you reduce it, automatically your career graph will grow up. So initially 15-20,000 getting into the industry, it is not a big deal for any particular right candidate. Within a year, that 15 to 20,000 will become 50,000 to 1 lakh also. It is definitely possible. After 1 year to 3 years, actually, within 1 year to 3 years, the salary package might jump up between 75,000 to 1.5 lakh. Okay, and after 5 years, if he is knowing the right nerve of the industry, sky is the limit. He will become an entrepreneur. I am very assured of. I've seen certain people actually in that area where people are putting their monthly expenses itself, the labor and material expenses itself are there in 50-80 lakhs expenses. So that much amount of turnover they will do, the right kind of government projects, the corporate projects they will do. They'll earn millions of rupees of profit. So sky is the limit actually. Civil engineering is a rugged line. Civil engineering is a robust line. Civil engineering is a very powerful and sturdy line. There is no recession in this particular line. For next 20, 30 years it's next to impossible. It is only the balloon of recession would be created. That's all. Okay. You just need to find out that where is the scope? How do I find out? How I can tap it? There is already a Niagara Falls of opportunities are there. Niagara Falls, how many water drops are there? That many opportunities are available. You just don't know how to tap that water. You just need to learn that technique. That's all.
So basically you are trying to say for the right candidate, job is not an issue.
Yeah.
And right candidate means learning the right set of softwares, and not only learning softwares but also knowing the integration or the coordination between the different dimensions and making sure that you know it as a whole and soul in toto. So over the period of time, if you learn that, within 2 years also you can set your career in this line as a building information modeling engineer. Okay. So my next question is, in the course launched by eConstruct, which is building information modeling, how exactly these 6 months or 7 months of training that you are providing, how exactly participants will be mentored? What exactly they gain in 6 to 7 months?
In this 6 to 7 months, actually, what we do, we don't do any wonders basically. What we train them is the light. We have set up the right platform. Automatically, the gaadi chalti rehti hai. There are some trade secrets actually which I don't want to reveal if you don't mind. But we make sure that the person gets the right track. See, these youngsters are having immense amount of potential within them.
Right.
Immense.
Right.
You just require a right platform. Automatically, the train starts. Now coming to the business secrets, actually, what we are doing wonders and what others are doing are bullshit. I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to tell that, see, let's say for example, this equipment or this mobile want to talk to another mobile. You require, let's say through the Bluetooth you are transferring, you require certain frequencies to match. Similarly, the student profile and the industry profile, you should require certain frequencies to match. We just do that frequency matching, that's all we do. We don't do anything else. We require coordinators which are good into coordination. We require site engineers which are good into the material management, labor management and all. We require good planners, visionary people which are idea people actually, which can create so many innovative thoughts so that you can get the right people at the right place to form a particular U-curve. And we just work on certain principle. Let's say sine curve, how it goes, we know that. How the logarithmic curve, we have learned the mathematics like M1, M2, M3 hardship, right? That's a very big pain actually. When we start learning M1, M2, M3, M4, oh my God, yeah. But through that, what the lesson we should take? We should take the lesson that what is the pattern. Sine curve, there is a pattern. The logarithmic curve, there is a pattern. So like that, there is a pattern actually. So learn the pattern. Otherwise, you will not able to resonate properly. You will not able to synchronize yourself properly into the industry. If you don't get into the industry, you will get into the wrong industry. That is disaster. Let's say for example, a civil engineer is doing some job somewhere in the call center. They are calling people actually, please take this please take that, please do this, please do that. You know, it's a nonsense. You'll get money, you'll earn money, you'll get married, but end of the day, job satisfaction is not available in the supermarket. Am I right? Yeah, if you really want right career, if you really want job satisfaction, you really require the right track. We set that right track. Okay, there are different ways are there, which is not possible to tell you in this particular platform. Okay, we take so many workshops, we give knowledge of so many different practical projects, we give certain case studies, we give them mock test, we do so many wonders actually within the 6 to 7 months, and we make sure that right track is available for the right candidate.
The training program provided by you in BIM, what exactly you do and what is the duration like?
See, within the 6 to 7 months, actually, if you want that kind of setup of answer, that what are the steps and checks that we follow, we make sure that he is good into CAD. So 2D is perfectly right. Okay, the CAD that industry wants, not he learns. Okay, so we remove the CAD which is there in his mindset. We make sure that the new CAD is taught. New CAD means actually, let's say for example, if I'm a painter actually. I know how the pencil works, I know how the pen works, I know how the color works, but I don't have any imagination. How bad painter I will become, am I right? I'm a very bad painter in that sense. So what happens is, I make sure that what do you really want to paint first? What is the drawing? Vastu prakare, compliances prakara, various different lines are there actually, how you are going to draw it. How to frame that actually here first and then on the paper, then into the CAD. Right. That platform we set it. This is just 2D platform I'm trying to tell you. Similarly, we set the 3D platform. Then similarly, we go to the 4D. Then we go to the 5D, 6D, 7D. So each there is a pattern actually. Okay, there is every day, every alternate day, couple of hours, there will be software training will be given. Every, alternate day, the certain assignments will be given to them. There will be the checks that what all the, problem statements would be there. All are live projects. We are trained generally, we generally train with the live projects actually. Certain live projects will be given to you, and based on that actually, you'll start working with the software, and you will be able to deliver certain things. That's the very beauty of this actually. So let's say for example, the first 1 or 2 months you will be focused majorly onto the 2D part. Okay, what on the site also, what starts first is the civil structural thing which starts actually. So that's why in the very first month we give them a very thorough understanding of the structural engineering disciplines. The structural engineering areas. So structural engineering, why? Because on the site, what it starts first is the column. The surveying we started, then we start with the column marking and all actually, the center line plan and all. So we start with that. So it's very important, it's, to understand the structural aspects. So in the very first month, the person will be equipped with the structural thing. Then he should understand the architectural thing. Then he should understand the architectural and structural coordination. Then MEP coordination. Okay. So once he understands all the lines actually, then we go to the 2D, then 2D to 3D. After the 2D to 3D, once you make the 3D platform actually, make sure that between 2D to 3D there should not be any sparks. There should not be any clashes. Column is coming in the middle of the room. The beam is coming in the middle of the bedroom. That should not happen, which we call it as a clash detection techniques and all actually. So that we merge it. We make sure that it doesn't happen actually. Yeah. So once it is done, then the line goes to the next few months actually will go to the project planning, project designing, materials. I mean, it goes to the site also for the project management and all actually, where in bar chart creation we are having our in-house tools. Actually, we call it as a work progress group actually, in which you will come to know that how the project planning can be given for a particular project, what would be the timeline, what are the resources are required. So resource management, the material management, all these things will be coming into that line. So one is the planning, another one is the monitoring. That is also very important. Okay, so generally 5th to 6th month would be majorly on the monitoring aspects. Actually, once you have done the planning, how to do the monitoring of that. Okay, because without monitoring, you will not know are you going in the right direction or are you are not going in the right direction. It's something like, you know, from, let's say, from Bangalore to Delhi, I want to go, for example. So the GPS will tell you that this is the route. Okay, the GPS has set that it is a route. So every time you need to follow the route. You need to monitor it, right? So first curve, we call it as S curve actually. Yeah. So first thing is the planning, as a project planner actually. So project planner, what are the software? You know, there are in-house softwares which I told you actually are there. There are so many other planning softwares are there. Like, for example, Microsoft Project is there, Primavera is there. You know, those are the softwares. But we make sure that they're good into planning basically as a concept. Once the planning is perfect actually, then the monitoring actually. Once the site goes, when the site starts actually, you will come to know that how to do the monitoring of that. Okay, so 6th month will be like that. Then the 7th month, which is last month, which is basically a very, very important month in which actually we generally train the student for the IRR ratio, which is investment versus rate of returns. Okay, then planning with the RERA authorities. How to deal with certain critical tasks will be given to the certain students to find out that how they will extract the problem into the solution. You should not be a part of the problem, you should be a part of the solution. Estimation, if there is a problem, actually where you have gone wrong. Material reconciliation is the problem actually. If you go to the site actually, you know, let's say 10,000 square foot site, what would be the amount of steel that is required? You already know that in the planning, designing, estimation stage. How much that amount of steel is given. So you know the site which is, let's say, 10,000 square foot actually, how much tonnage of this steel is required. Okay, so you have already estimated that. Okay, but right now it is already over consumed. So where you have gone wrong? Are you calculated wrong, or is the material is going to the other site only, or material is getting stolen only? Now, where are you heading wrong actually? That is the nailing the problem it down to zero. You know, that is the SWOT analysis we try to teach to the people, so that they will become a solution orientation people actually. So there are so many concepts, the project management concepts actually which we generally train as a qualities of this project manager. What kind of qualities that you are having? You should be a proper coordination between the disciplines actually, the architectural, structural, plumbing, electrical, site people, laborers actually. You know, how to make the dispute resolution mechanisms. You know, there are various different, you know, forms are there, checklists are there actually. Whenever there is a slab checking, whenever there is a checking of the brickwork, said so many activities are there. Let's say, for example, there is a tiling work going on. What are the steps and checks that you will do it? We generally give the sheet to them. Okay, they will yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. It's very important actually. So let's say for concreting, before concreting the slab, what are the steps? During the concreting the slabs, what are the steps? And after concreting the slabs also, what are the steps and checks? So, see the project, when the site engineer will become a project manager, there's so many people, they are asking me actually, from site engineer, if they are aspiring to become a project manager actually, you really need the managerial skills, the project managerial skills actually. You need to become excellent site engineer first, right? Another thing is you should know that how to do the coordination, the teamwork, and so many different, you know, things actually. So that will help the person in a very big way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, to conclude, building information modeling is definitely used in many countries, whether India or abroad. Many people are getting awareness here in India, many builders are using it, and it's making things much more better. Not only this, but apart from this, learning BIM for either freshers or even working professionals as a toto, as a package, will definitely take your career to the higher level. And not only this, but you will be part of a very big outcome in any of the big projects which are going on in the industry. And it will give you a big job satisfaction. If you have passion for this, it will be a very big job satisfaction for you. Especially for those who are new with BIM. I hope we sorted most of the queries. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste. Bye.